What's going on, guys? The Ironcane here, back with the Breakers Season 3 video, and in today's video we're going to be looking at the top 5 best and worst super attacks of Season 3 of Dragon Ball The Breakers. So, as I was doing this list, I was like, oh, I'm going to put that in there, But we didn't get that many super attacks this season, dude. I think we literally got like 10 or 11, so unfortunately I didn't really get to do a honorable mentions list for this season because we didn't really get that many super attacks. Like if you look at like Gohan didn't get, or at least adult Gohan didn't get any new super attacks. Vegeta only got Final Flash. Trunks only got Finish Buster. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan got 2. Actually, I did forget what is Super Saiyan 2 Gohan's. Ooh, actually I don't know where to put that. I'll put that in an honorable mention, actually. So we will have an honorable mention maybe for like one of the categories. So for this, I think I'll start with best. So for me, the hands down best super attack in Season 3 of Dragon Ball The Breakers, or that was added. I put these together just because they're essentially the same super attack in my opinion. And that's Vanishing Ball from Kid Buu. Basically, it's a instant charge, so you have to charge the super attack up and then throw it out. And the next one I have is Finish Buster. So these super attacks are essentially the same. They deal the same amount of damage. They charge just as fast. The only difference, in which you could argue gives the edge to Finish Buster, is the fact that it's actually silent. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but Finish Buster literally does not make any noise when you charge it up. When it impacts, no noise. It's very, very weird. I don't know if that's intentional, but again, you could argue that's the edge that Finish Buster has over Vanishing Ball. But to me, they're basically the same super attack, so who really cares? That's why I have them both for number 1, but you could put them 1 and 2. So for number 2, I had Maiden's Blast, dude. Maiden's Blast, or Maiden Blast, is actually very, very good. It's essentially Big Bang attack with an added property, which allows you to knock back the Raider at close range. So there's this little aura that spawns around Pan, or that's created around Pan or the Transfer, and it actually has the ability to knock back the Raider. I don't believe this actually depletes the gauge to like get them to drop Dragon Balls, but this could be clutch in a situation where the Raider is level 4, or if you're like level 2, they're level 3. You can't melee them and you can't vanish kick them, and you know, wasting supers would just you know, deal damage, but you could knock them off, and that might be the time that you need to win the game, right? As opposed to just spamming supers that wouldn't kill, or you wouldn't be able to do 2 to, you know, I don't know. It's just like that extra added property is kind of nice. I think that's kind of cool, but it's very fast, deals respectable damage. It's essentially Big Bang, just with that extra property that I mentioned with the knockback. So next up here we have Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, who finally got new super attacks. As you can see here, they were just copying and pasting Full Power Energy Wave, Masenko, Kamehameha, Full Power Energy Wave, Masenko, Kamehameha, Full Power Energy Wave, Masenko, Kamehameha, It's just like, dude, give this man some love and some new super attacks, please. So finally with Super Saiyan 2, they did give him Motionless Kamehameha, which is a very good super attack for the reason that it actually doesn't completely deplete the gauge. There's a lot of super attacks in the game that when they land, they actually completely deplete the knockback gauge, meaning that the Raider will get some iframes. What's cool about this super attack is if you stun the Raider, you can land 1 or 2 of these super attacks before the Raider actually gets knocked back. So it's kind of neat. Comes out very, very fast. You could throw this raw out at times. It comes out that fast, you might land it. Very good, cheap, comes out fast, decent damage. What else could you really want in a super attack? Next up, we have Final Flash. So Final Flash was available, actually, this came out. No, this came out at the beginning of the season, right? Yeah. Yeah, I was just thinking because it came out for the Super Saiyan form. Yeah, you could use it with the Super Saiyan form before 2. That's why I was thinking it was a Season 2 super attack. But yeah, Final Flash, it's decent. Comes out very fast, deals respectable damage, cost effective. Not really much else to say about the super. It's overall very solid. Next up, we have Piccolo, and we'll be looking at Light Grenade. Light Grenade is pretty solid. It's not the fastest super attack in the world, but it has a decent-sized AoE, making it a pretty solid super attack, and one that could catch Raiders off guard because of how big it is, right? Really good AoE on its explosion. It's not the slowest either. Cost effective, decent damage. Not bad super. So for honorable mentions, I would have put Majin Kamehameha, just because it's literally just a Kamehameha, but it's pink, so do with that as you will. So let's move on to the worst list. So who do you guys think is going to be number one? Ding, 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 ding. It's Golden Frieza. It's Golden Frieza. It's Golden Frieza and it's Emperor's Death Beam. I could not believe how badly they butchered Emperor's Death Beam, dude. This super, I thought, had the potential to be the savior of volley users, or just be like the new volley after it was knocked off and it was nerfed. Just because in Xenoverse, this super attack is insanely overpowered, deals insane amounts of damage. It basically never ends. In this game, it does crap damage, crap hit detection, and it does not last forever. So it literally does nothing that it does in Xenoverse. So really not that great of a move at all. So I don't know, man. It sucks because Golden Frieza's best move is Death Slicer, and Death Ball would have been really good for him. But unfortunately, we can't even use it on Golden Frieza. In my eyes, fourth form, Frieza's final form, is legitimately better than his golden form. The Ki Blasts are better, the super attacks are better. His best super attack is Death Slicer, dude. It's Death Slicer, and it's not even like an amazing super, but it's not bad. It's better than these two, but we'll get back to him in a second. For number two, for worst, we have Justice Combination, which is really disappointing to me because Justice Rush is such a good melee super in this game. It comes out fast, the tracking is good, it holds the radar in place for a long time, it deals good damage, and you want to know what Justice Combination did? Threw all of that out the window. It does eye damage, the speed is atrocious, the startup is atrocious, the tracking is atrocious. It just, I don't know. Like, the only plus side of the super is that it holds the radar down for a very, very long time. But if you want to hold down the radar for a long time, just use Justice Rush, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know why they butchered this melee super. Unfortunately, you really don't see many survivors using melee supers these days. It kind of sucks. Like, the only melee super you really do see people using is Rebellion Spear, just because it's an instant on, it deals all the damage at once, where these skills couldn't be interrupted by a knockback ability. So I don't know. I don't know. It's just, I like melee supers. They're fun. They're cool. They're exciting, and you can chain them if you time them right, and they hold the radar in place for a long time. And they're very comboable. But it's just, unfortunately, Justice Combination was really, really bad, dude. And it's disappointing because that's the only new super attack she got. And you can even use Justice Rush on Steward Saiyaman 2 if you wanted to. So next up, we're going back to Golden Frieza. And we have Crazy Finger Shot. So technically, there's a huge bar in between Crazy Finger Shot, Justice Combination, Emperor's Death Beam. This super isn't the worst on the planet. If you land all the blasts, the damage isn't that bad, but you have to be up close and personal, which is typically not really a situation you want to be in when using a super anyway, unless you're using a melee super. And if you're going to be up close and personal, just do a melee combo, or just do a Vanish Kick, or again, just click, or just equip a melee super. Why would you use Crazy Finger Shot? Don't really get it, but it's alright. It's not as bad as Emperor's Death Beam. If you had to choose between the two, Crazy Finger Shot is better, but both are pretty mid or really bad. So next up, we have Super Saiyan Bardock, unfortunately, and this super attack isn't the worst one in the world. It's just not that great. It has a very long startup. Damage isn't really that impressive. It's cost effective, I guess. The AoE is modest, but it's just not really anything special, and that's why it's at 4 worst. And you guys don't know how these lists work. When it comes to determining what's worst, number 1 is the worst, where, like, as we go down the list, it becomes less and less bad, right, or worse. So Riot Javelin, I still feel like belongs on top 5 worst. It doesn't belong on best. Maybe you could argue honorable mentions for best, but again, wasn't really that many super attacks to talk about in this season, so I just had to put things in the top 5 best and worst, right? So for number 5 worst, again, this super attack isn't terrible. It's just aight. It's Monkey Cannon. It has a decent startup. It has really good AoE. The damage is aight. It's just aight. It's aight. So that's why it's on worst. I mean, again, could you argue this for honorable mentions for good? Sure. honestly, what I probably would do is put Father Son Kamehameha, just because I did actually forget about this move. I would probably put this at number 5 instead of Milky Cannon, just because this has an insanely long startup. The damage is very mid for how, like, crazy, like, the animation is for this super attack. It's just very underwhelming. It's just underwhelming. That's a perfect way to describe the super attack. Underwhelming all the way around. Damage is underwhelming. The startup is underwhelming. The animation is cool, and that's pretty much it. It's a cool-looking super attack, and that's all that it has going for it, right? Like, I would have rather them make it cost more, deal more damage, and it would have been better, but unfortunately, they did neither. And, yeah, so I guess I think I would have put Milky Cannon either honorable mentions for best or worst. But, that's pretty much the super attack list. This one's a lot shorter than the other best and worst videos, just because we really didn't get that many new super attacks. Great Saiyaman didn't get any. Gohan got 2. Videl got 1. Pan got 1. Frieza got 2. Boo got 2. Ginyu only got 1. Bardock only got 1. Goten got 0. And Vegeta only got 1. And Trunks only got 1. So that's it. That's it. We really, I don't know, it feels like we didn't really get that many super attacks. When we get a new transfer, and it's basically just copy and paste, but with a different skin and different key blast, it's pretty lame. So hopefully next season we get a lot of varied super attacks. It's been leaked and rumored that fusions are going to be some of the transfers for Season 4, so hopefully that is the case. But of course, let me know in the comments below what you guys think of my list. If you think I'm capping or crazy with my placements, if you agree or disagree, let me know. If you want to change the orders around, make your own list in the comments below. I'd love to check those out. Like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe to the Ironcane channel for more top 5 best and worst lists like these. Showcases, highlights, streams, rage comps, all that good stuff. And I'll catch y'all next one. Take care. Stay safe. Have fun. Peace out.